Excuse me. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for Paper Saber Universe. This is the New World Podcast, brother, and we're talking about Collision. November 11th, 2023. We're in Oakland. We got Tony. We got Nigel on commentary. No Kelly. We started off with Andrade versus Daniel Garcia, but some great promos to start the show. The stuff to get me hyped. That's what I miss. There's a couple weeks they didn't do it, man. And I love when they have the old school, like, you look here, brother. You know, and then and we started off with a strong match, Andrade versus Daniel Garcia, moving them hips, and now confirmed, CJ Perry's client is Andrade. Miro watches, jealous. He's like, oh, hell no. So we're building a feud between Andrade and Miro. CJ Perry has a new client, Andrade for the win. Daniel Garcia is tired of being on the bottom. He wants to be to the top. So we're slowly getting Daniel Garcia to get on his own a little bit. But he did walk out with Cool Hand and Daddy Magic. So we'll see how that story still develops. We still, but Andrade, though, and CJ, power couple. Well, there's some awkwardness where he's like, hey, don't touch me that much. My wife still watches. Next up, we got Nick Wayne versus Dalton Castle and the boys on ringside. Of course, Christian and Luchas. I think Luchasaurus is there. I don't remember, but I was like, Nick Wayne for the win over Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle, who I love so, how I love him so. Just I don't know. Dalton Castle is a larger than life star. I feel like hopefully one day, I know he's probably getting a pretty penny from Tony, but one day I would love to see Dalton Castle in WWE. He's just that big of a presence of a star, and they utilize him so little here, and especially in AEW, and he loses to Nick Wayne. So It just makes me sad a little bit. Hangman Adam Page promo is getting mad at Swerve, and he says, Swerve, brother, me and you, brother, in a Texas death match, brother. He didn't say it like that, but that's the way he was like, no, you're going to my house, brother. You ate my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, brother, that I had in the fridge, brother, or was it Prince Nana? He didn't say any of that. I'm sorry. He was just so raged and pumped up, man. And we get a Texas death match at Full Gear between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. I'm like, yes, please. Yes, boy. LFI versus the Workhorsemen. Who do you think won? LFI. House of Black promo. They're going to be at Full Gear in a fatal 4-way for the tag team championships. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. I think it's LFI, House of Black, FTR, Ricky Starks, and Big Bill. That's a huge match. Willow and Chris backstage. Julia Hart has made it in the promo beforehand, saying like, "Hey, I will face Willow Nightingale, and if I do win, I want a rematch against Chris Statlander for that TBS championship." And it's gonna turn into a trios, from what I saw. The winner of Red and Sky, like whoever wins that match is going to be a fatal 3-way for that TBS championship at Full Gear. Now we're building that card. Roderick Strong with the Kingdom comes out, and he's facing Darius Martin, his first victim. He still has the wheelchair. Still awesome. Roderick Strong for the win. Goes back to the neck brace. Goes back to the wheelchair. And the Kingdom comes in. Does a wiener punch. It does a pile driver to Darius. Poor Darius. Here comes Action Andrade for the save. Well, kind of, after Darius got punched in the wiener. Tony Khan, Bryan Danielson. Brian's like, yeah, I'm sad I missed All In, this and that. But the greatest professional wrestling company. I was like, oh, all right, Brian, calm the fuck down. But he's adamant about it. He says, like, yeah, this, he's going to be at All In London. And then starting, Tony has announced the Continental Classic, a round-robin tournament, 12 stars. And the first entry is Bryan Danielson, even though he's looking like a pirate because of his eye and everything like that. So I feel so bad for Bree. Every time Bryan gets hurt, like, he had that really massive injury with his head and everything like that, and got back. Good for him, But every time he probably gets hurt, she's just like, "Oh, this has to be the last." He goes, "No, fuck that. No, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Continental Classic, sign me up." Next up, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Julia Hart for the win. Still love her theme music. Sky is watching on, and we're going to see who's going to win between her and Red to get in that triple threat for the TBS Championship. Ricky Starks and Big Bill are backstage, and then they're told about them being in this fatal four-way for their championships, and they're like, what? We haven't heard of this. No one told us about this. So this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. Paul White comes out. He's on commentary for this. I wouldn't even call it a match. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Squash Gang. Of course, Powerhouse Hobbs for the wins, and he's like looks at Paul White in just such a intimate way. He's like, "Yeah, you, Paul, you." Don cuts a promo, about their big match next week and everything. And Jericho had a good time over with Takeshita in Japan, throwing tables. Getting the camera, flipping off people, it was Jericho being Jericho. FTR's backstage, they're talking about the match, and they're like, we don't care who it is, we're going to get back those tag team championships, be our 3-time AEW tag team champions. FTR, top guys out. Now the main event. Lance Archer and the Righteous versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland. I love the Righteous. Them coming out, such a great tag team in the and being what Lance Archer made me laugh in this. He came out, left Jake way the fuck back there, running in tall, just smacking AEW guards and everything. Here comes the Righteous, and they lose. I knew they were gonna lose. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, losing to Sting, Darby, and Adam. I don't know why. It kind of bummed me out, man. I think the Righteous deserves a chance to be a top tag team. But this match is what it is. You got Christian Cage and you got Luchasaurus. You got Nick Wayne comes out. Christian Cage put his championship up. That's how we end the show with Sting, Darby, Adam, all looking on. They're going head to head, and they're going to face them at Full Gear. Then we got the AEW World's End coming up in December. So much happening. I got to say, honestly, this show, though, my favorite match of the night was Andrade versus Daniel Garcia. Maybe the main event, and Roderick Strong, Darius Martin, just because of the wiener punch. It was funny. A 3 out of 5. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Nothing too crazy. And I'm already seeing the pictures, because I guess they didn't sell tickets to the other half of the arena. And, people are like, look what happened. I'm just like, I don't know how to defend it or if I should defend it. I'm just here to watch some pro wrestling here, folks. I'm here to talk about it with y'all. But that just doesn't look good, just to be really stinking honest. So, but we'll see what happens in the future. They got 3 shows. I believe this was pre-taped because that's why Rampage was live on Friday and everything like that. So I'm wondering, is there going to be a Collision next week? I should have paid attention to that more, because I'm like, you got the pay-per-view Full Gear, which I'm excited for. Then after that, we got Survivor Series, which I'm super excited for. War Games, baby! So, all right, y'all. So 3 out of 5, Collision, November 11th, 2023, in Oakland. Tony, Nigel on commentary, and that's it. That's all. Like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo, created by Penta X. That's it. That's all. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Me, just like all the other AEW wrestlers, we're fired up, and we're going to put on the best wrestling tournament ever!